Take a look at your phone. What do you see? You probably think it's one device, right? One single, powerful little computer. Well, what if I told you that's not even close to the whole story? Yeah, it's true. Inside that phone, there are actually three computers. And get this, two of them are constantly talking about you, behind your back. They're sending messages that you can't see and you definitely can't control. So let's pull back the curtain and see what's really happening. All right, so first up, let's talk about the computer you actually know and use every day. This is what we all think of as the phone. It's the brain that runs your operating system, whether that's iOS or Android. It's what lets you open your apps, scroll through social media, browse the web. You get the picture. This is the part we see and interact with. Okay, so that's computer number one. Easy enough. But now let's get into the interesting stuff. The two computers you don't see, the ones working completely in the background. You can see the split pretty clearly here. On one side, you've got the application processor. That's your world, the iOS or Android apps you interact with. But on the other side, that's where we find the two hidden players, the baseband processor and, believe it or not, the SIM computer. So what's this baseband processor? Well, think of it like a completely separate, secret little computer inside your phone. It runs its own operating system, totally independent from iOS or Android. Its only job, its entire reason for being, is to talk to cell towers. It manages all your calls and cellular data connections. And here's where it gets really wild. That little SIM card you pop into your phone, it's not just a piece of plastic with an ID on it. Nope. It is a full-blown, tiny computer. It has its own operating system, its own file system, the whole shebang. And this little computer can actually tell the baseband processor what to do. So you've got these two hidden computers. What are they up to? Well, they're having a conversation. They're talking to each other, and they're talking to the cell network. And the craziest part? The main computer, the one you're actually using, has no idea this is even happening. It's completely in the dark. So here's how the chain of command works. The SIM computer, what's sometimes called a proactive SIM, can kick things off all by itself. It sends a command over to the baseband processor. It might say, hey, send this message, or start up a data connection. And the baseband processor just does it. It follows orders and sends encrypted messages out to the cell network. Now, this is the really crucial part. This whole conversation, it is completely invisible to you and your phone's main OS. It doesn't matter if you're on an iPhone, an Android, or even one of those super private operating systems. You cannot see it. It's happening behind a digital wall, and you're locked out. And look, this isn't just some conspiracy theory. Telecom experts have confirmed this stuff in court. They've said straight up that we have no idea what's in these messages. They're encrypted, and the cell providers aren't talking. It's just not documented anywhere. So let that sink in. A computer inside your phone is sending secret messages, and no one will tell us what they contain. So that leads to the big question, right? If your phone is having these secret conversations, what does that mean for your privacy? Well, the risks are pretty serious. For starters, there's constant location tracking from cell towers. This creates a detailed map of your movements, and yeah, providers have sold that data. Then there's the scary stuff. That unknown data could be used for surveillance. We're talking remotely turning on your phone's mic or camera. And to top it all off, even if you're using a VPN, we know that both iOS and Android have ways to just bypass it for certain things, sending your data out unprotected anyway. Okay, so the problem is literally built into the hardware of our phones. What in the world can we do about it? Well, there's a really smart strategy called siloing, and it's all about creating a privacy buffer. The idea is actually pretty straightforward, but it's super effective. You take the SIM card, and with it, that whole secret world of the baseband processor, and you move it out of your personal phone. Where does it go? Into a separate, dedicated mobile hotspot. And you get some major privacy wins right away. First, if the hotspot is running your VPN, your phone's OS can't pull that trick of bypassing it anymore. Second, your cell provider now just sees a bunch of data coming from a hotspot, not a detailed profile of everything you do on your phone. And maybe most importantly, a simple hotspot just doesn't have all your personal data on it, so there's a lot less for those hidden computers to report on. So what you're doing is creating a clean separation. Your phone, with all your sensitive stuff, connects to the internet over Wi-Fi from the hotspot. The hotspot is the only thing that actually talks to the cellular network. You've basically built a privacy moat around your personal device. Look, the whole point here is to break that chain that makes your phone a 24/7 tracking device. Once you realize your phone isn't one computer but three, you can start making smart moves like siloing to take back a huge chunk of your privacy. So the final question is really for you. Is that extra privacy worth the change in your setup?